Yo, what's up, Moki here. Punch boosting will officially be removed from Apex Legends in Season 12.
Yeah, I don't think that works anymore, chat. I don't think you could punch boost.
My guess is that they reactivated the melee lunge towards geometry while keeping it disabled towards players. This is sad to hear, and I would have loved a way to keep at least single-use punch boosts. But this would have required additional programming, and I understand why they would just outright remove it when it's only 2 months old, before it establishes itself even deeper in the community. Tap-Strafing has not been removed, but just nerfed. The streamers that played in the control mode preview event are saying they can't turn more than 90 degrees.
Oh, she's right. Oh, she's right. I can only tap strafe a little bit. Okay. So you can still tap strafe, you just can't crank like a 180.
I don't think that it's based on your turn angle though. My guess is that you can now only stack 3 lurches. On PC, if you input a directional input after a jump, you get a slight push in that direction. That's a lurch. We stacked multiple forward lurches to enable tap-strafing. This works by just hitting your W key multiple times, but putting W on your mouse wheel is what made it so potent. For 180 degree tap-strafe, you needed 5 to 6 stacked forward lurches within 0.4 seconds. If my suspicion is true, you can now only stack 3 lurches. This would limit how sharp you can turn to about 90 degrees. This would also mean that other lurch movement tech still works. This includes WASD or RA strafing, momentum redirects, wall bounce redirects, especially the wall climb skip, and lurches out of super glides. If the 3 lurch theory is true, then tap-strafing would also still be more powerful than simply redirects. Which brings us to my second suspicion, that at higher velocities you can stack even less lurches than 3. So after a grapple or jump pad, you might only get 1 lurch with a jump, preventing 90 degree turns when you're going fast. I now have to point out that these are the exact things I suggested at my talk with Respawn, when I was invited along other movement pros to discuss the future of tap-strafing. I very much got the impression that their biggest problem with tap-strafing were those sharp turns at high velocities. So I suggested to limit the amount of stackable lurches based on your velocity. I did that as a compromise to save stackable lurches at lower velocities, because if they would have messed with lurches fundamentally and not differentiated based on speed, we could have lost momentum shifts, wall climb skips, etc. And more importantly, the game would have felt different to everybody on PC. Even if you never would have heard about lurches or tap-strafing, you still would have felt the impact, even if it was just subconsciously. I also tried to make very clear that 3 stackable lurches is the minimum they need to keep at low velocities. We knew they wanted to remove or nerf tap-strafing. That was inevitable. So I suggested something we movement nerds could accept after some shedded tears and wouldn't affect the game for everybody else. That's why I suspect they changed tap-strafing the way I described. There is no official confirmation of that, and they have not informed me personally about how they changed it. I was also not invited to any playtests or the control stream event, so these are just suspicions. But I managed to have a Prizzy test out some things for me. Please give him a follow if you haven't already. He says momentum shifts still work?
Oh, never mind. I'm just dumb. Yeah, you can still redirect.
That wall bounce redirect still work?
Is that what you want me to try? I'm confused by your message, I'm gonna be honest. You can still do that.
And that you can do 90 degree turns with high velocity.
You can still do 90 degrees, but like that's kind of it. You can't really like do it fast too. They changed it. You gotta do it slow.
Which seems like they didn't implement my velocity suggestion. But how a Prizzy talked about it and how it looked while he's using it makes me pretty sure about the 3 stackable lurches. Which would mean tap-strafing's upper potential has undeniably been nerfed. But if you're good and controlled with it, you can still utilize it in almost every situation. If they just limited the amount of stackable lurches to 3 and not how each individual lurch works, or how they work in combination with air strafing, then Horizon will still be better at tap strafing than all other legends. If my theory is true, you could also make the case of removing W from your mouse wheel and learning how to tap strafe manually by tabbing your W key, since you now only have 3 lurches and need to be more precise with them. This would open up your mouse wheel to interact, for example, for insanely fast looting of drop. I will definitely keep you informed when I learn if I'm correct or if I was wrong with my 3 lurch theory, and I will surely make guides on how to use the new tap strafing. Subscribe if you don't want to miss that. Overall, tap strafing seems to not have been removed entirely. There is old, insanely powerful, rather easy tap strafing, and new, more nuanced, nerfed, and skillful tap strafing. And with that, I will see you in the next video. Bye!